Hello there fellas, this is Maneswar. Don't confuse me with some other personas that share the same body. And that sentence is weird, I know that. Okay, so I was recently going through the stuff that I have been posting lately, and I saw the math thing, of course, and except that I saw that wisdomatic video that I posted, and I thought it's a good way that if I post the thoughts that I have in a while in some this kind of video format on my Instagram, that would be good. So to be honest, I wasn't that much Maneswar these days. I was, you can say, my spy, working on my college stuff. It's kind of tricky, so I don't have that much of thoughts to talk about properly. I have some, and yeah, I can just share them. These are not just 1-2 day thought. I have thought properly about it and have been doing a lot of thinking from different perspectives. I have been talking to some people whom I find to talk, because I have good ideas and stuff to talk about, but I don't get that quality people or that field specific people or that hardcore people in that specific field. That is why it becomes a hell lot of mess to have thoughts and ideas or you want to discuss with someone but you don't know anyone to discuss with. Okay, the first one is about the favorite thing that I've been thinking and been observing these days. So the first one is scientific mind ain't about knowing all the whys, it is about being able to derive why. Okay, so there are two things. One is a scientist and one is a science fan. So a science fan is someone who does not really know about science that much with respect to the in-depth things, but have interest in that field, but have that much interest in that field to know each and every why, try to get to know each and every why. And that's not a good thing. We should not be science fan. You can be a science fan after you get that scientific mind. That's my case, so I will say that you can be that. Being scientific mind does not mean you have to know all the whys. Anyone, literally anyone, you can say a third or a fifth class student can also read about relativity, each and everything on Wikipedia, and just learn all those things and can blab it somewhere, and people will think of him as a genius. I have seen a movie, I think it's called Seriously, I don't know, it depicts something same, that knowing stuff, knowing the why of everything is not a scientific thing. It is a scientific thing, but if it comes from your own mind, if you read a lot of stuff of related to science and spend your whole day, spend your, you can say, whole life, what we call a life, not enjoying anything, just studying scientific facts about this and that and this and that, and then knowing all them, and then you are thinking of yourself as a scientific mind person, then that's not it. So it is not required for you to know why everything works. I guess no one can, because it's a lot of information for one to store. That's why we have things like technology. So a scientific mind means having a good hold on curiosity and understanding how logic works. That would be a definition of scientific mind as for me. The one who knows how logic works has a scientific mind. The definition that I said can be very tricky to understand because it's not that much descriptive. I'm not good at expressing myself, I know that. So for example, if one does not know how a certain phenomena in this physical world happens, then if he can make some sense of that phenomena based on the little bit of information he have, or just based on the observations that he is doing, then that is scientific mind. And then there is another type of person who knows who sees a phenomena, does not know why it happens, then goes through books, goes through internet, goes through Wikipedias and know why that stuff happens. Then among those two people, the one who have derived with the answer or have got close to the answer, because I guess not everyone can get the exact answer, but who have got at least close to the answer by themselves and not by some book or something, that person have more scientific mind as compared to the one that have just read some books. Reading some books, knowing some facts does not make you a scientific mind person. Being able to deduce things, you are just required to have that kind of mind that you can at least try to know all the why, you can make some deductions about why. That is what as for me is scientific mind. So don't confuse it with with just knowing all the why. Yeah, this is one of the things that I've been thinking about, that it took a lot of time for me to formulate all these things in sentences and to really be sure that is it scientific one or not, because this is what we do. We study too much in doctorates and all, and we do too much of study to get a scientific mind if you are a physics hardcore. But then also there are many people who does not have scientific mind because they have just studied the books of PhD. They have they don't have that much curiosity, you can say. They don't have that much creativity or the scientific mind. Like Einstein have for sure studied less than his professor or the teacher who taught him and the end of his study life. But then also Einstein discovered relativity, not his teachers. But if you see with respect to information and knowing the whys, then his teacher will also know the same amount of why as much Einstein did. But you know, you don't even know the teacher name of Einstein, so you know who is the who had the scientific mind. Einstein had the scientific mind. So if you read about his life, you'll get to know. And if you read about other scientists like Feynman and all, you'll get to know what a scientific mind is. If you're like reading between the lines, then you're good. If you're studying like a story, then go read some novels. Yeah. So yesterday the light went off. I mean the sun went off, so I was not able to finish the recording. So I'm doing it the next day. You can guess it by guessing that I'm wearing a different T-shirt or I don't know what. Yeah. So let's start. The second point was gap between theoretical discoveries and practical innovations. So what I mean by this point is I think it's quite obvious. You will also find this thing if you listen some podcast or read some books about some how the current scientists are thinking. If you observe closely, you yourself will get to know that there is a huge difference of about 20 to 30 years between the things and the physics part that is being discovered and the practical and the engineering part of that thing. For example, now we know good amount of things about neutrinos and how they work, how they interact and all this stuff, but still we don't have anything functional on it. It's been like 10 years since it has been known, and this is just one of the examples that is on top of my head, but there are many more examples. I've been going through this thing of gap between theoretical discoveries and practical innovations from long, and not only with respect to physics. I have also tried to notice this pattern in some other fields. You'll see a thing on your screen right now that it depicts the same that I'm talking about. So I don't know why it's happening. I guess because there are more number of scientists than engineers, and the ones who are becoming engineers or who are going in the field of engineering are not properly passionate about it or dedicated about it. They are just going due to for money, I guess. That is why there is not much engineering, and the ones who are coming in science are like properly passionate about science. That is why they are coming in hardcore science, because I guess it does not have that much pay than engineering. I have talked to some of my friends and got some ideas, but I don't think that they are that much logical and valid enough when we see on the actual level what is happening. The point that I found most valid is this only, that the one who are going for hardcore physics for the discovery thing are actually passionate about it. That is why they are not opting for the money that they are getting in engineering, and rather they are going for their passion and their curiosity. But the ones who are going engineering are merely going for the money or for the perks of engineering, not for the passion of engineering. I guess that's the thing. Passion is the main key factor playing around here, and passion is of course being controlled by money. I don't know. Well, this can be the thing. So yeah, this is one of the thoughts that I had. I'll have to make it quick because I have 5 points, and one point yesterday was of 5 minutes. So the third point is copying human ways right thing to do or right thing to proceed with. When I started learning about computer science, AI, or when I got properly into MySpace, then I started noticing this pattern thing. I guess I actually heard this in some podcast of someone. I guess Michael Stevens, Vsauce, said this in some other form. I guess it was with Lex Friedman, I don't know, so I don't remember. So he was not directly on this point. He was saying that the computers did not work as human in the past, but then also they have done well. Like the way that computer calculates things and the way that it get answered, does arithmetic, is not similar to how humans does. It does not count on fingers, or it does not count on slit, I don't know. It does in a different form with respect to 0 and 1 in bits form and all that stuff. We did not force, Alan Turing did not force computers to work as we do. We just wanted our work to be done, and we did in the form of that computer can do. But now we can see with respect to AI, neural networks, evolutionary thing that we are doing, it's like we are just trying to imitate humans. We are copying humans. So is it right thing to copy humans? Why? I think what I feel like, we should respect and embrace the differences that we have with technology. Technology works in different way, and not as humans do. We have evolved and all this stuff. We have control over technology. So what I think is, we should not try to force for computers to work in our ways. Instead of trying to imitating human, if we try to do something in their own realm of computer science, maybe using quantum computing stuffs, I don't know, the hardcore must be knowing. So if we use that method, I think then the things will accelerate much more better. We should try to get the qualities of humans and make it in form of computer language or computer format of quantum supremacy, because that is the next hardware major or discovery that I can see right now. So we should do that. The next point is of future evolution possibilities. So yeah, this is the thing again that I stumbled upon while working on my neural network things, and I had studied a bit of neuroscience for getting good understanding how the thing that we are studying in computers and neural networks actually came to neuroscience. And so I just made some formulation on my own. So the first one is upward growth of mind instead of front, as controlling older is better than making new. So we can see, or we have seen in past, that our mind is evolving in a specific pattern, like from spinal cord to PFC in this way. But I don't think, based on some thinking that I did in 2-3 days, I don't know, that our mind will not grow like this. It will not come in this front and it will become like this. Instead it will grow like this, upward direction. Because yeah, I have seen alien movies, so I guess it's like that. No, because if we have got PFC that can process logic and have understood universe this much, that means we have already got the things that we need to work upon to get the things done in this physical existence. So we just need a thing to properly control our mind, because yeah, we know psychology is a good proof of how we are not properly able to control our mind. But what I think is now something will grow in the upward section of our brain, and it will be like a master control. It will be able to properly access the other areas of our brain. Like we know that we don't really access the other parts of our brain except the PFC. Once people do meditation to get control over some other parts of the brain and stuff. So I think some other things will evolve by which we'll be able to control more of our brain instead of getting more brain, instead of making new brain. Why to make new things when we already have old things and we are not using them? So we'll just start using the old ones very properly and efficiently. Efficiency will increase instead of making new things. So this is the first point. Second is no major development in PFC, as everything will be outsourced to computer. One other major reason why PFC will not grow much, our logic thing will not go much, because already we have been introducing intelligence in computers. We have done it very properly by now. So it is not required, because as the time will proceed, the technology will increase, computing power will increase, and we will not require this PFC anymore. We will require it in very less form. So vestigial brain organ you can call it. So this was one other things. As computers will increase, we won't have to use our PFC much, so it won't evolve. Lower peak in wisdom, then boom. This was the, like, what to say, it took most time to think about, because in this I just cannot proceed with logic. That is my main field, Maneswar, So with respect to wisdom, I had to talk to other persona. So I have seen myself, I guess, and my path or my journey, how it have came and what the curve I have followed, and I have read about some other philosophers also, how they have followed or how they have grown to the wise person that they are right now. So I am not calling myself wise, but I know you will call me wise, because that's what I want. Humans will face a huge downfall in wisdom with the coming technology, with coming intellects, because the PFC is growing. But there are two possibilities that I have thought of, and I think both are equally possible. So I don't know if the Elysium word is good, but I have read it somewhere. So after that why am I using this word too much? Okay, so this will happen because I have seen my curve, and only after getting the extent of intellect that whole human race haven't faced its extreme intellect till now. They are like going towards it. They will face their extreme intellect in coming days. So when they will face it, after that they'll have choice. That, I guess choice is a good word. Free will is an illusion, I know that, but then also they will have a choice to either go deep or go stagnant there, or to like rise from it. Both of them are not that far, I guess, because the intellect rate is increasing quite fast. I can see that, I can notice that. And this is all for this one. I guess again I'll make a video out in 6 months if I have some thoughts. I guess I will having some more thoughts, and we'll start a series kind of thing. Let's see how much far it goes. So that's all. Have a good day. Bye bye. Yeah, it was Diwali today, so happy Diwali if you are into that shit. I should not say shit. I don't know why. Okay, I'm getting into Nikov, I guess. Problem of having multiple personas. Okay, bye. Enjoy. Peace. Like MKBHD. The last one is creativity concepts. I like, see, people call me creative. I don't know I am creative or not. Like I haven't ever known what I do and the logic behind it, how I have did and how other people do it. How am I different than them, or whatever they're calling me is actually I am, or what I do different from them when I be what I am. So I have to look for other sources to know why I am whatever I am, because if I go deep inside me I will know what I have done. But for me that's normal. For me I'm normal, so I don't know how people are and why they aren't able to do the things that I am able to do, that they want to do. So that is why I have to go to sources, and as usual I have gone to some, I have taken I guess 2-3 online courses on creativity, and I have formulated this just like very specific 3 points. There were many and there were extremely good courses I would suggest, but I don't know everyone can afford it or not. I have done it. So yeah, the first one is quantity over quality. This one was good and I used it. I did not know it's called, I call it logical overthinking. As you know, I have names for everything I do. So it basically means is that we should just think as much as we can, being in some constraint, what I call rule book. The more you think, the more your mind will work, or as it's showed in the course, the scientific part I don't remember, neurons will fire and all this stuff. So just think more and be in a get some constraint that I don't have to go out of this limit. I guess meditation comes in handy in all this. I don't know, I have done it all collectively, so I don't know how it all came and worked along. So just think more on some specific topic. They have showed various examples. You can say overthinking, but in a limited and contained way. Take anything that you want to be creative about your poetry. If you want to write a good poem, then it's not like you'll be able to write it in one day. No one can do that. If you write a poem in one day, it will probably be trash. So if you want to write a good poem, you'll have to give it some time, much more time, if you want to write a good long poem. So like just think of it, think for each and every line like for hours and 2 hours. And most important thing is just be stagnant and be static on that line. Don't wander your thoughts around that line and go somewhere else in your mind. That's a very important thing. In that place is where meditation comes in handy. So think more, just think as much as you can, because initially bad thoughts or useless one might come and go, and when everything will be rejected by brain, yeah, I have thought this, then good content will start emerging and you'll start creating new things, because the old ones are already thought and your mind said, yeah, I have done that. So yeah, that is one of the things that I think actually works, because I have tried it. Second one is lateral thinking. Again, I have tried it. I have been doing it from long, multiple personas. What do you think? Lateral thinking basically means having some good amount of information or knowledge about much more fields, like 2-3 fields, and having extreme deep information or knowledge about one field. You're talking about me, then computer is the field that I have good information, like deep information, and physics, psychology and philosophy are the ones that are like the light ones. So this is again some brain thing, neuroscience thing. What happens when you know a lot of things and then you try to recombine them, make connection with them? I don't know, not logically, it just happens directly. If you know too many things, your brain will automatically form patterns. It is how brain has been evolved, to form patterns. So yeah, that's a good thing. Like learn about many things, not just specific to your field. Be excellent in your field and be good in other fields. That is what I want to say basically. That is what lateral positioning means, and this is how creativity, because if you are in your field, you are not getting any creative idea, then it might be possible that you see some other good stuff in other field and you might relate it to this, or you can transform that thing into your own field in some other way. It has happened in past with scientists. Erwin Schrödinger was a biologist. He did Schrödinger equation, you all know about that. So it's a very common thing that has been seen in past, and it works. I can guarantee it works because it has worked in me. I have 5 personas, one is main, so rest 4 helps him, or all collaborate and make stuff, collaborations you can say. Last one is juxtaposition. I was not feeling well using the word jerk because I have nick off, but yeah, I can use it. Impulsive jerk to the train of thoughts. So juxtaposition is only good when you are already having little thinking and quantity of thoughts over quality of thought. You are thinking a lot, overthinking, and you are thinking from different perspective, lateral thinking, you can call it critical thinking, from different perspective, from different sources of knowledge, and then juxtaposition come in handy. Like just stop in between, like force your mind to go and think of something else, anything random, anything illogical, like just force your mind to go from the random pattern that it does, because creativity is not doing normal or not doing the random thing that everyone is doing, so you'll have to be absurd sometimes. So juxtaposition is what a fancy term for that, like being absurd, being illogical at some point in time, and being able to find that the thing about which you were illogical and you were absurd, does that actually have some logic, or is it actually just a trash thing? So these three things actually works with me. I have done it, like working with my DSW and thing. I have, like, while I have overthinked a lot about specific elements of the FDE or DSW, I have, like, thought a lot about it, and you can see I have collaborated personas like Madhusudan and myspy and Maneswar for FDE. So I have collaborated personas and made stuff about it. So yeah, that works. Lateral thinking also works, and juxtaposition, yeah, it worked, because getting fixed that, okay, yeah, I'll work with FDE in this thing and not go with some other physics theory to relate with the enlightenment. So that was a juxtaposition. I was thinking about enlightenment, and then I, like, forcefully switched to physics and FDE, FD payment diagram. So I guess this all things work. I guess you should also try it, and this is all for this one. Have a good day. Bye bye. Yeah, it was Diwali today, so happy Diwali if you are into that shit. Okay, bye. Enjoy. Peace. Like MKBHD.